So you're saying, like, you see, even you yourself are saying you wouldn't use these carriers, but you're telling me it's a bad look for me, and they should start with zero and just really, really
And I'm
fail.
sorry that that's all you took from the video, that first part.
Oh no, I got a lot more
Obviously,
parts.
yeah,
We're
I
just we're
got
just
that.
getting we're just scratching the surface, dude. We're just
But
scratching the
like
surface.
I didn't mean to offend you or even cause any kind of beef in regard to that. I am solely against that, and there's a lot of people in this industry that have been doing it a long
I
time that
understand
are
that, but
against
because you're
that.
solely against it, you're looking at it from your point of view, and your opinion like is coming from a selfish place, and that's why you're against it.
Not sure I'm selfish about it.
Well,
I
no,
just
I
want
don't. No,
people
I'm just
to.
saying, but it is. It's coming from a selfish place because like you're against it, you don't like it, so you're telling people it's bad advice. But in reality, it's really not bad advice if you want your chances to succeed to be better.
I guess we'll see how it pans out for some of these folks. I'd like to see some examples of someone that did this exact strategy that didn't get burned by a broker connecting the two dots and then them being
But
blacklisted
what
and
two
being
dots are they
blocked.
connecting?
And
Let's get
there's
into it.
things you can connect
Like what?
behind the scenes. We don't talk about it because we can connect those dots and see that
Well,
they
I
didn't
mean,
do it the
see, like,
right
why
way.
don't you didn't talk about it?
Because we put it out there, then the bad guys will figure it out. Like we don't talk
But
about
but there,
that.
but I'm aware of both sides of. I'm aware of your side and the asset side completely, and there's nothing that I mean, unless you like had a trucking company before and your phone number matches or pings or something like that. But besides that, there's nothing wrong with people that had. You could have been doing hot shots. Be like, hey, I was doing hot shots. I switched because there was no money. Whatever. There's nothing. If you didn't do nothing bad in the past to link you to the new company, there's nothing wrong with doing it. Now I understand what you're saying. If that person already had companies, fucked people over, had bad safety scores, freight guard reports, accidents, then yes, for those people to do it, completely bad, and you might get linked if you put some bad information somewhere where it's not supposed to be, and they link it, then yeah, I get what you're coming from. I agree with you on that one. But for a person just trying to start out, just trying to do it for the first time, I don't see nothing wrong with them doing it to gain an advantage to help them out to succeed.
All you're doing, though, is, in my opinion, is you're just creating debt for 6 months. And yes, the debt is less because you're doing a $500 truck payment, a $500 insurance payment, whatever the case may be. But you're creating debt and not running any loads at all. So if you're going to have some debt, you might as well just start building relationships and calling brokers and calling direct
But how are
shippers.
you going to build the relationship if nobody's? You just yourself said you won't use nobody till at least 3 months in inspections. So
But there's
how?
plenty of people that will, just
But that's the
because
problem.
I
There isn't,
won't.
dude. There really is, especially after
Okay, well,
recently
unless you've
with
done
the
the
fraud.
research and called every 20, if you've called every 22,000 brokers, and if you want to go through and do this, maybe get an AI bot to do this.
But you
Have
can't.
them
Most
call
of them have
every,
shitty credit. Most of them don't even have no credit. So you can't say there's 22,000 brokers. Nobody cares about the 22,000 brokers. Everybody cares about the big boys. They have the freight on the board
okay, well,
every
let's
single
call
day.
the 100. Let's do a project. Let's call the 100 brokers, go through and do that and call every one
I've
of those
done a lot of
companies.
them already. I made videos on it, as you can see. So
Yeah.
a lot of them will not use you. C.H. Robinson, 3 months. I think if you get lucky, a lot of times they tell you they're pretty
Why would
backed up.
they? And here's the other thing too, though, Bobby, is that people don't understand is that TQL, CH Robinson, all of these big, huge brokers, they have a carrier network that's bigger than anything they need. They don't need to post loads really, and CH Robinson never does, right?
Well, they do
So why do
when
they
the
need to?
last minute.
What
When
is the carrier going to do to provide them a service that wants them to do business with
Well,
them?
C.H.
It's not
Robinson's easy. You get signed up with C.H. Robinson. You see
get
partial
on
load
their
board.
load board.
Yeah, you
You
see,
become a commodity. You
you only
become a
see a
commodity.
partial load board from them. They don't even show you all the good shit. You have to do a
Yeah,
couple loads, do a good job to prove yourself. Then they open up the rest of your load board. But at
right.
least now you
Exactly.
have a chance to prove yourself with them instead of opening from brand new and just not even being able to get set up. So yeah, of course. I mean, but then, like I said, if you start off from day zero with nothing, you're completely 100% screwed. You could tell me there's 22,000 brokers. You could tell me whatever you want. But all the big boys that have all the freight that the drivers need to succeed, they are not going to set you up 3, 6, 12 months.
That's possible. That's possible. But again, you're creating a commodity. You're creating yourself as a commodity. I just want people to know that, like, when you're in trucking, just because you have a truck doesn't mean you're going to be successful. And if you don't have a business plan other than just working off the load board and working with carrier or brokers that tell you 3, 6 months, nine, or a year, and you don't have a real plan of how you're going to find freight to feed the beast, to feed your truck, to pay your bills, to be successful, you're going to fail. It doesn't matter if
Well,
you
I agree
wait
with you, but
six
it's
months. But the thing is, the people that are going to wait 6 months and age their MC number are still going to fail. They're still going to fail because they don't
why?
know how to run a business. They don't know how to.
But how do
They
you know
don't know
that?
how to
Like you see,
plan.
like you're assuming, like you're just
I'm,
you're
I'm I'm
putting
just
all
saying,
them you're putting all them in
90%
one
of trucking
basket.
companies fail. So, I mean, what do you want to say? 90% of trucking companies fail.
And this is
They
why I make
fail
my videos
because
to try to give people information that's gonna help them to succeed, so that number goes down. And so far, like I'm sorry, but everything you've been saying, like you know what I mean, is just, in my opinion, not good, man. You know what I mean? Like you're telling people to go find. Dude, nobody's gonna. If you had fucking shippers and direct customers, you could just go be a
I
freight
could start
agent.
a trucking company right now today, Bobby, and go find direct shippers in Kansas City
Yeah, you can because you
and
got
get
how many
set
years
up.
of experience in doing it. I'm sure I can
In Anybody can do it if they can sell
They
and they can walk in and give them a benefit analysis of why they would want to set
mm.
up with them.
So you got
But the
one,
thing is, they want it the easy way. They want to go onto the load board and get loads as that's
but
the
that's how
easy way to
most
do.
trucking companies start, dude. Like you're act, dude. Like
I would disagree. I think the most successful trucking companies start for providing a solution to a problem
yeah.
for
What
a
solution? What
direct
solutions
shipper.
or problem are you going to provide?
Reliability,
Mm.
on-time
And how are you going to
performance,
prove that?
damage free.
How are you going to prove that if nobody gives you a chance?
Hopefully you have experience and you just didn't buy a truck. Like I saw someone earlier saying he was going to jump in and buy 3 box trucks, but he's never driven in his life, never owned a trucking company.
Well, that's
I
just
mean,
stupid.
that's stupid, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but
so
you're
that's
saying,
what
but you're
those
but
people are seeing your videos. They're seeing your videos thinking, oh, I can go do this and I can make a lot of money. I have seen so many people on social media posting videos about them, struggling, and the sprinter van market right now struggling, 30% volume down. Everybody's struggling, right? Like, but you know what? I'm still kicking ass and taking names and growing my company because I'm not willing to do it the way everybody else is doing it and doing it entry the wrong way, in my opinion. Again, I just want your audience to know like this isn't the only way to do it, and I don't think you presented it that way. But I believe you get in day one, you start working hard, you start networking, and you start calling direct shippers and brokers that
so you
will
want
work
them to
with you.
jump in day one and just start losing money because they're not going to move no
They're
freight.
going to be losing money your way too.
No, they won't actually. They're actually going to do exactly. If you, that's exactly. You didn't listen to my video. What I
You're
said
going,
is,
no. If you go if you go a lease on underneath another authority and you're giving them 10, 20, 30% off of loads that they're getting from the load boards that are coming from brokers that might be double brokered, you don't know. Like
well, I
that's
don't
what
know
I'm
what.
saying. Like these leased on carriers, they're just getting loads from a brokered network.
Bro, I got 10 companies right now that I work with that are I made deals with. They will not steal from the owner operators that have a bunch of customer freight. That are really good trucking companies
That's customer freight, right? You
that,
just said it. They
that
have customer freight. Those
yeah,
are the most
correct.
successful.
Yeah, but that's the problem. So you go work for them, and then if you want to give it your own shot, you're still going to be better off because you could work for them for 6 months. You could age your MC. While you're aging your MC, 3 months hit,
How
set up
much
with
money
CH
are those
Robinson.
companies taking from them, though?
What do you mean?
How
How
much
much
are
what?
those companies they're going to lease underneath them are they taking off of
Well,
the
depends on
line
the
haul?
company. I mean, if you want a full
Right.
in package, about 22%, but it includes trailer
Right. So the
insurances,
margins are already
everything.
super thin, and you're going to give someone like a dispatch company or
Okay, but
a,
you want them
a
to jump in with day zero, bro, and just completely fail. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if like you just don't see like,
I do see the 22% that these companies are going to take from them for 6 months.
yeah, but it's
And
22%.
I
But what about
see,
the insurance? If you're a new
and
carrier,
that's why, I think that's why, because they're not going to insure it probably. It probably isn't going to be
no,
done
they're
right. But
definitely going to
like,
insure it. So if you go to a big company that you lease onto, their insurance is going to be way cheaper than you would pay if you started a new company. So you're saving on the insurance. So if the insurance, the trailer, all your IFTAs, everything's included in that 22%. That's actually not a bad deal because all your bills are
it's
already
kind
in
of,
there.
yeah, you're right. I get it. It's
So
kind of like the Landstar setup. So it's amazing to me how many people become an owner operator to be independent and then go lease on underneath someone and still are letting someone else dictate
well, again,
where
like
they go
you
and when
need
they go.
experience. So like you said, like I don't understand bashing people when you need experience to get in there. You got to start learning. You
I'm
got to
just
start
trying to
making
tell them
money.
like that's not the way you build a successful trucking company because you were basically giving someone else the
So how would you
percentage
do
of
it,
your
Steve?
company.
Just jump in with
I would
zero.
say, you know what I would do? I would say a company driver at a big company because they get vacation, they get to call in sick, they get to have 401ks, and they make pretty decent money.
So why didn't you
That's what
take
I
that
would.
advice?